so that's where our brave ship goes. To make our fortunes one fine day. Hold fast to the helm, hold fast to the wind. Heave-ho, inspirante. Andras grace, or we'll all be skinned as we sail down the Deadfire way. Hold fast to the course, hold fast to the waves. Heave-ho, inspirante. If we don't wind up in salty graves, we'll come back to Sperento someday. Hold fast to the helm, hold fast to the wind. Heave-ho, inspirante. Andras grace, or we'll all be skinned as we sail down the Deadfire way.
Is that you? What's it been, 5 years? Life's been good. I keep on my feet and never stay in one place too long. Say what you want about pirates, but these Principi know how to have a good time.
Gold teeth, easy as pie.
You're an idiot. Wait a minute, wait an hour. Alive, dead, it makes no difference at all.
I've pulled plenty of gold teeth. I know the right way of it.
Maybe I'll pull your teeth just to prove you wrong.
What do you know? It really does make no difference. You, out.
A tongue be a right sharper weapon than a pistol, but a pistol'll do in a pinch.
Haven't seen you around before. Welcome to the King's Coffin. What can I do for you? Figured that out all on your own, did you? You're right, though. Inherited an old dhow from my da when he passed. Right piece of shit it was, too. Realised I was bound to make more coin turning her into a tavern than letting her rot in her berth. What do you want? So long as you don't mind pirates, sure. Just say the word. What can I do for you? What do you want? There's always someone about who can't say no to good coin.
Tell me.
Something I can do?
What can I do you for?
Ahoy. Aye, aye.
If you're enjoying my performance, tips are welcome but not required. Thank you, loyal patron. I work for a handful of pyres per day. How could I find enjoyment in that? I was playing dice and gambled on a sure thing. It turned out not to be such a sure thing, and now Harker owns my arse until I can pay off the debt. Of course, I started off owing him 250, and even though I've paid that twice, now I'm in the hole for 700. The interest rate, this uniform, my food and drinks, they all got added onto my tab at the end of the day. Oh, thank you, patron. I'll be debt-free in no time.
Hello. May I help you? Need anything? I'm not sure what there is to tell. I'm a man of adventure, mostly. A few. More than I could share in a night, to be sure. There is one that's close to my heart. It led me to my love. I was on an expedition into the backwoods of Red Seras when I came across an abandoned town. To my great surprise, I found a tremendous hoard of books in the town priest's cottage. The Red Serans are conservative folk, more so even than the Adherents. They don't have much use for reading that doesn't come from one of the holy texts of the Church of Aethys. And what a selection of books it was. Every subject represented, even some questionable ones. I couldn't help but help myself to them. I took as many as I could carry, and I can carry quite a bit. Read them all cover to cover and learned a lot too. I tired soon of wandering, so I settled in a small town in the Deerwood and became a tutor for a noble family. Fell in love with the governess, naturally, and I stayed. For a while. Well, I felt a stirring in my bones one day. I can't explain it. I just woke up, caught sight of the horizon, and had to go. I left my lady wife right there in our marital bed. I don't know what's waiting for me out here in the Deadfire, but I have hope this will be my biggest adventure yet. Well, you listened to my long tale. I suppose you are owed a trick or two. For the other your...
Touch the courtesans without their permission, and I'll break your legs.
What
Got
do we
it?
have here? How can I ease your troubles, friend? I surprise and delight the clientele. My speciality's oils. Full-body rub-downs, right? Fit to leave you limber, clear-headed, and free of the stresses of hard living. I got other skills, of course, should you be looking. And all for a measly 200 piles.
My, aren't you a handsome one? Did you need help? Isn't it obvious? I entertain, of course. It'll cost you 50 pyres, naturally. And don't let the wrinkles fool you. I'm still young at heart. And I've got more experience than most.
Oh, God have mercy on me. Lost my God's damn soul and stupidity. Oh, my ship was attacked and boarded by pirate hunters. Didn't know if we'd be able to get away, so I swallowed down my most valuable possession. And of course now it ain't coming out of either end. Been trying all manner of foul concoctions to no effect on account of my stomach being too strong. Years of sailing the storm-racked seas will do that to you. Started feeling an intense pain 2 days ago. I think I might be dying. I can't even crawl no more. God, trust me, exploding would be alright, find relief. But it ain't happening. Not without help. Make me puke. Whatever you gotta do, just make it happen before this cursed gem kills me. Give me something strong enough to upset even my iron gut. Rosanella's got a stand in the Radiant Court. She's been supplying me with some, experimental concoctions, tweaking them after. Tell her the last one actually came close to working.
Much ado to you, Casita. A word of advice. Guard your back in dunnage. You have not yet carved a name for yourself or your crew. Yet you choose to swim in a sea of sharks. Should one take a bite, the Consuelo will not intervene. Elsewise, how might I be of assistance? The Consuelo will need to vote on it. But with your reputation, and if you vanquished Benwith, as appears to be the case, I do believe you are the most qualified to take his place, Ak. I will speak with Furrante so that he may consider the matter further. You have my ear, Casita. Of what do you wish to discuss today? Yes, our Council of Captains. There are 7 seats on the Consuelo, each occupied by a high-ranking captain within the Principe. Seat holders convene to vote on a variety of issues concerning the Principe's well-being. To claim a seat, a captain must have substantial backing and sufficient power, both politically and physically. Furrante, the last Marcheso, holds the highest-ranking seat because the most ships in our entire fleet have pledged loyalty to his flag. As you can guess, the Sea Wolf, Aldis, commands the second most numerous fleet of ships. As such, she is the second chair, and I am the third. Perhaps you would like to attend the proceedings when the Consuelo next convenes. You may have noticed a divide between old blood and the new, by which I mean those who descended from or otherwise hold Old Valia in grand esteem, and the varied and often uncouth recruits we have since brought into the fold. I assure you, the latter was supremely by necessity. As a casita of some repute, you will be most welcome in the king's coffin, but you should watch yourself throughout the radiant court. I met Furrante decades ago. Many years I sailed as his first mate before building my own humble fleet. When in the Principe, do as the Valians do. Unless, of course, you have no care for tradition or the continued sustainability of our way of life.
Captain. Done and done.
Already on it. somewhere.
Need a...
Not a problem.
Ah, Watcher. Good. You have arrived.
Ahoy there yourself, Captain. Or do I be but a pretty bit of man-meat to dangle from a wrist? As easily forgotten as set aside.
A little seabird informs me that you have dealt with our mutual problem, the scoundrel Benoit. Gelarde, for this you have my grandest commendation.
You'd have been right amused, you would. Few sights as fine as that hard-blowing three-sheeter getting what's long been due him.
You are lacking in so many ways, my former ship hunter, but no one can say you are not entertaining. I myself would have enjoyed watching you put the scoundrel in his place. That he did, indeed. And as promised, I have prepared for you a fine prize. However, there is another matter of which we must now speak. I must confess to you a bit of a problem has arisen. One which speaks to your expertise with the supernatural. We've sighted the floating hangman that haunts the Deadfire. Indeed, and I will say it truly again. This galleon, what likely remains of the Fonferros, is a frightful legend. We have been losing ships at sea, amigo, and not to those Valera ship-hunting bastards. I believe the floating hangman may be our culprit. Fortune favors us, as I have procured a survivor from such a recent sinking. You will consider what she has to say. Come forth, Selenia. Quickly now, or I will run rivers of your lethargic blood. Well, spit it out, Selenia, and try not to embarrass me before our guest.
Of course, Captain. It might have pretty hard near the end, but I spit the tale as best as I can. Go on, gent. I'm ready as I'm like to get me. Saw my old crew slaughtered me, my best mates, and even a few I hated. They weren't but blood and meat in the end. It branded the back of my eyes, that moment. High seas, nothing but blue all around. Then, mist so thick you could taste it. Ships sailed from within. Was a hunt, not for loot, but for bodies. The ship, it looked rotted. The crew, they were all undead. Couldn't stop them from boarding. Couldn't kill them. Couldn't even fight them in the end. They were dreadful. Some were clothed, like maybe they'd only recently died. Others weren't more than moving bones. One was different. Her presence was overwhelming. Heavy. Flames burned in the place of her eyes. The crew shambled hard to do her bidding, even the ones who seemed hardly aware. Figured she was the captain, me.
There is a flag the floating hangman flies. A flag that once heralded the Fonferros of Old Valia. It belonged to a Darkotsi paladin of some legend, one Lucia Rivan. But Selenia's knowledge is limited in this regard. let us instead ask her of a subject she may know.
Calling me craven? Huh, sure, I am. Took a knock-in and I was out for a while. When I came to, they were eating Ganasco, our steward. I dropped a dinghy and rode for it. Don't know why they didn't give chase. Don't much care me. Dunno me. Drifted for days, maybe longer. Kept winking in and out after I ran out of drink.
One of mine found her no more than a week ago. Malnourished, dehydrated. The poor...
Well, I'm more than able to gabble now, aren't I? Could sail, too. No, you got no reason to keep me.
Perhaps there is something else you wish to ask of our guest before she departs from us.
Me and my crew were adept. Alert. Always. No. Weren't no one gonna get the jump on us. Was some magic foul. Just sudden like, the winds died, the waters fell flat and the air got heavy. They turned sky and the sea both against us. Then this thick fog roiled up at midday. Without a sound, the Spectre ship skimmed right out. It was too late. We couldn't outsail it.
She belongs to Aldis, who undoubtedly will come to claim her soon. But that is a problem for another time. One moment, Watcher. How very clever of you. Indeed, the White Kestrel and her crew were pledged to Aldis. However, it is not by virtue of Aldis that Selenia yet lives, and I would have that well remembered. I can't truly. Allow me to cut to the heart of it. Lucia Revan, whose flag flies atop our spectral ship, was a Dakotsi paladin who died more than 200 years ago. It is my hope that uncovering the details regarding dear Revan's fate in life may illuminate the nature of her undeath and how to defeat her galleon. Unfortunately, the only soul who could possibly shine more light on our situation lies buried deep within Neketaka. One Iser the Berethian, now well rotted, I presume. Meaning what by that last? You were able to read his soul, despite how much time has passed? A death guard? How fascinating. And terrible. I must of course presume that you've unearthed a promising lead for us. Perhaps you were able to learn about Rivan's whereabouts, of where her spectral ship oft anchors? Selenia is not a captive. The matter is not whether she will go free, but when. If you insist it must be sooner, then so be it. She is uncouth, and would happily repay my benevolence with a knife in the back, yet you fault my precaution. I do not fancy the frittering of time, Watcher. I would advise you to leave me if you feel you are ill-prepared for the business at hand. Come, let us share a fine conversation. I am listening. What weighs on your mind in this moment? Come, let us share a fine... Who better to ask than the first chair and highest rank on the Consuelo, Mes Casitas? Ak, what is it you wish to know? What matters is not who they were, Casita. Only that we took it from them. But as you are curious, I will tell you this. The architecture of Balefire Beacon suggests dwarven craftsmanship. My own research into the island upon which I established Dunwich paints these ruins in a picture of blood and agony. Whatever dwarves sought to make their refuge here were exterminated by a crush of Naga tidal waves and great sea monsters all at once. Fortuitously for us, Ondra shelters her loyal sailors more than wayward mountain dwarves. Ak, what is it you wish to know? We are a magnificent but largely landless people, so we have come to own the sea. To survive, we must seize prosperity where we can. Hence, we are oft labeled as pirates, smugglers, merchants of illicit trade, or mercenaries. It will not always be so, but it is for now. Ak, what is it you wish to know? Come, let us share a fine fortune with you.
When I was little, me and my brothers used to spend hours chasing each other through the Merkberry fields. Don't think a day went by I didn't have a skinned knee or a bleeding elbow.
Well, we did that sometimes. Only my brother usually had a hand in the bleeding.
He older or younger than you? Either way, I bet he's just as strapping.
Older. Was. Older. Then Raid Sarah's invaded.
Oh, I didn't... I mean, of course, it's...
Fresh
fruit, I'm so
vegetables! Sorry. What can I stock you up with today?
Ondra's gills! There's no hope. That was a disaster of epic proportions if ever I directed one. A typhoon couldn't have cleared out our audience faster. What's wrong? I'll tell you what, everything. My troop's coming apart at the seams. We're short on cash, we're low on people, and we've run plumb dry on enthusiasm. We haven't drawn a decent crowd in more than a fortnight. And it ain't like pirates are hard to please. That's how you know the show really stinks. But I think I know what the problem is. We've got a lack of flair. If only I could hire more talented performers. I just know my play would take off. Only the biggest thing to hit the Deadfire since the Valian Trading Company started hunting us like sea hounds. I'm talking about Aethus storming through the archipelago and capsizing nearly a whole fleet of our ships. A better Aethus, for one. I'm the tallest one in our troop. I'm still not very convincing, even when I bother to dye my skin blue. Also, our special stage effects aren't all that special anymore. We had someone for that role, but she got herself into debt and has a new job at the King's Coffin. Really? Well, that's great. Then we could... Wait a tick. Why would you help me? What do you get out of this? With you helping me acquire the right talent, I'd wager it's going to be phenomenal. I'm in desperate need of 2 more performers. A wizard for one, plus any oaf big enough to pose as Aethys. I happen to know a wizard of the finest skill set who already performs here in Dunwich, Taerna at the King's Coffin. But get me the right people for the parts, and I promise you'll be pleased with your investment. I'll turn us a profit or die trying.
My old captain was a drinker from the day he was born to the day he died. Always he was rail thin. He wound up with a wooden leg, 26 ships and a bilious fever. Sunrise is a woe, doves. The coming horizon is a sea-sized ruin.
See what's in here.
Welcome to the treasure trove, sailor. Anything in my trove catches your eye, you let me know. All right.
My good sir, hello. Whatever might I do for you? I'm certain there's no need to tell you, observant as you no doubt are, that I am. At stage, tavern, street corner, they are as much my home as where I lay my head at night. So, I travel ahora, looking for opportunities to share my gifts with the grateful masses, wherever that may lead me. Oh, goodness, yes, loads of it. I've been known to joke that I'm less a man than I am a walking bank for all the coin that I carry. The common folk do so love an actor. We bring mystery and excitement to their otherwise dreary lives. Yeah. How dare you? But you're not wrong, to my great chagrin. Times have been tough of late, what with the giant statues smashing up the place, and few in the Deadfire have coin to spare besides. It's quite difficult, you know, living as I do. On occasion, foolish folk will take my act for reality. I've thrice been run out of a town for impersonating a foreign dignitary. Damn fools don't understand the blistering wit of my satire, I tell you. I had to learn to protect myself as a result, though I must admit, what martial skills I've got aren't of use for much more than fighting off wolves or throttling a thief with designs on my satchel. Thank the gods, I hardly ever need to use them. I could talk myself out of nearly anything, you know. Well, thank you. I must say it's gratifying to be recognized for one's talents. All things being equal, I'd much rather recite a sonnet than swing an axe, but a man's got to make his way in the world any way he can. I would be honored, but a man needs to make a living, you know. So, for my service, you know, mail...
I'm telling you, ask
Looking
for
for work.
Irina in the king's
I've got
coffin.
coin and a... Scores to settle.
You half-masted sot! She's got to be 90 years old!
Welcome to my emporium. Whatever you need, I sell. What would you like to buy today? I do now. I started out with only one stall and eventually branched out, buying out my competitors one by one.
You carry yourself like a person well acquainted with violence. Care to put your skills to use for a good cause? It's simple enough. The firebrand commanded by Captain Henqua once plagued the Deadfire. The skill and brutality of Henqua's crew was the stuff of legends.
Legendary nightmares, more like. After how they did the crew with a virtuous reward. Even that bastard Benwith wanted nothing to do with them.
But pirate legends don't live long. Some months ago, an alliance of Neketaka pirate hunters managed to corner the firebrand and sink her off the coast of Tikawara. They confirmed Captain Henqua's death, but her senior crew members escaped unscathed. And now it seems like bringing the firebrand's crew to justice doesn't matter to anyone but me. So I want you to kill them. And I'll pay you out of my own pocket if you do. It's nothing personal. The crew earned their reputation through murder and thievery, and it would make me sick to see them regain an ounce of their power. You've a keen eye, my friend. I reserve a bit of the firebrand story for myself, and you'll excuse me if I don't plan to share it. Let's keep business strictly business, huh? Back on this again, are we? I know a questioning eyebrow when I see one, and I'm not in the mood to be giving answers. I've got family business to tend to, is all. But I suppose you have a right to know. My idiot kid sister was on the firebrand, seduced to a dishonest life by the promise of adventure. When the pirate hunters killed the crew and sank the ship, they also killed my sister. But those irredeemable lowlifes I sent you after got away without a scrape. I want them to pay. I don't much care how, so long as they take their turn on the wheel. The firebrand had a mascot, a useless little bastard, who's taken to calling himself Lord Admiral Imp. He's not terribly dangerous on his own, but he's keen to make a nuisance of himself wherever he goes. Last I heard, Lord Admiral Imp was making himself comfortable in Queen's Berth. You'll find him there with a few zarups and constructs, the little buggers convinced to follow him. You'll be taking down Lady Epiro, Captain Henqua's former first mate and a rumored lover. She's a cipher, and a dangerous one at that. Epiro maintains an estate in Serpent's Crown in Neketaka. But I wouldn't recommend you rush in muzzles blasting and swords held high. She keeps a number of bodyguards on her payroll. You'll be going after Katren, the firebrand's resident wizard. Rumor has it, she was once an apprentice to Arkemir before turning pirate. Last I heard, Katren and her sundry little minions could be found lazing about the sacred stair here in Neketaka at night. No idea where she disappears off to during the day. I have a challenge for you, my friend. And his name is Torkar, leader of the Firebrand's boarding parties. He's an ogre with a reputation for cleverness and cruelty both. I've even heard tell it was Torkar who was behind the Firebrand's most successful tactics, not Henqua. Torkar was last seen at Lifter's refuge here in Dunwich, dead set on joining a crew, or assembling his own. I trust you won't let that happen. Torkar, the tactician. Big, ogre-shaped, makes his home in Dunwich. He shouldn't be too hard to find. There aren't many who fit his description, even among the pirates. Katren, the Firebrand's wizard. Last I heard, she was spending her time in the sacred stair in Neketaka. Lady Epiro's the one you want. You can find her estate in the Serpent's Crown in Neketaka, along with all her bodyguards and powerful... You're looking for the Firebrand's former mascot, Lord Admiral. Happy hunting.
there goes the captain who murdered Benwith.
Looks cleaner than
So
I
you're the
expected.
captain the old pork's been talking about. Aye, you do look like a fearsome sort. Welcome to Dunwich. What are you having? I'll pour you a double. No one survives the floating hangman, or so they say. It's the ship of the dead. You spy it on the horizon, you flee as fast as you can. Ah, I guess the last concoction I made for him didn't do the trick then. Poor bastard. There's one last tincture recipe I know that won't kill him, probably. It's called Andra's Bile, but I don't have all the ingredients in stock. You'll need a rotten hagfish, an unripened palm stone, and a vial of fire kelp extract. Have him mix it all with a half tankard of grog, and well, hope for the best. Check the barrels around Lifter's Refuse for the rotten hagfish. You might be able to find unripened palm stone for sale somewhere in Radiant Court. Parker in the King's Coffin usually keeps some fire kelp extract on hand for special purposes. Be careful when dealing with that one. The goal is to make him vomit, remember? A rotting hagfish produces a special oil once it reaches a certain level of decay. I did tell you the list of ingredients, eh? He'll have stuff dribbling out of both ends for a week. Maybe two if...
Did you hear? The gilded kestrel was lost at sea.
From Goldfin's fleet? Possible with her wealth.
Weren't no one to bride. The floating hang... gone. Now they're bones.
A light's foot and an heavy bullet, I cap.
You return? Oh, you're quite the troublemaker, I've heard. What would you like to buy?
A repeat customer. What can I stop? Of course I do. Tell you what, though. Of course I do. Tell you what, though. I'll still sell you what I got. Of course I do. But they're no good to eat when they're not right. Will make you sick so long as they're Tell you what, though.
If it's a drink you want, what are you having? I'll pour you a double. The goal is to make him vomit. I did tell you the list of ingredients, eh? He'll have stuff...
You return? What would you...
A repeat customer. What can I stock you up?
What can I do for you? Sure do. And at a generous... Be careful you don't... Actually... Yeah. Yeah.
Sure, my money's on Rauatai, but I've avoided the Brass Citadel. Not interested in settling in, you know?
Damn my gut! Just kill me now! Blast my gold-starved soul in stupidity! Aldred, save me now! Oh! Oh, God! He's coming out the other end now! Oh, now, if you'll excuse me, I need a change.
Good day. Need anything? Fair wind.
Welcome back. I'd be happy to go back working for her, except I owe Harker over there a good deal of money. Stupid dice went cold at the wrong time. Until I pay him what I owe, 700 pyres, I'm not going anywhere. Talk it over with Harker. Maybe you'll be feeling generous. A more likely possibility is he'll try and put a knife between your ribs. You haven't heard the rumours, I take it? Some people say he's the Red King. Aye, I'd heard that too. But some folks say he faked his death to escape the wrath of the Valian Republics. Those same folks say that Harker was the Red King. I wouldn't go on asking him about it, if you know what. My never-ending debt to Harker.
I'll probably stay a little longer. There's plenty of work for a mercenary after all.
How can I ease your trouble?
Did you need...
Go pester someone who cares.
What can I do for you? Infamous to his enemies, famous to his friends. Folks decided to call me the Red King, and I had nothing to do with that. But see, the Valian republics drove my Dar out of business, and I repaid them in kind by taking their ships and their treasure. Got right tired of ship hunters crawling up my arse every time I went out to sea. So I paid off my crew, scuttled this ship here. In other words, the Red King is dead. And if you ask me any more about it, you will be too. Got to you, did she? The woman can spot a soft-hearted mark from 50 paces. Like a sixth sense or something. Remarkable. Here's the thing, though. It's more profitable for me to keep her under my... Unless there's something else you need, I think we're done here. That's a shrewd observation. Maybe you're not so easy a mark after all. Tierna's free to go.
Endless thanks for taking care of my debt. See you at the play. No one's barking at your heels for his help if you don't catch him.
Have a pity and toss me a pyre, will you? What? I'm no actor. And besides, I can't barely see nothing as it is. Intimidating I can do. Reciting a bunch of namby-pamby lines is going to be the trickier part, but I'm game to try. Turn me in the right direction, and I'll... Stage is this way, ain't it?
Good day. Anything I can do for you, just say the word. Travel quick, travel quiet.
Well, well, if it isn't Arca's new business partner, that's quite a lot of coin you two exchanged. Everyone knows Arca's aiming to come out of retirement and slice off a bigger part of dunnage for himself. Maybe he even wants to steal a seat on the council. We can't be letting someone of your reputation back him, now can we? Think I'll send him your head, as a reminder to stick to selling grog and flea-infested beds.
Death to our enemies!
I need to try something else.
Death to our enemy!
Never you mind about this. I'll land the next one.
Hey, watch it with that.
Just like that.
Already.
Need a hand? Can do.
Thanks muchly for bringing Taerna back to us. Her storm and weather spells will really strike an atmosphere for the play. And now that we've got a real big brute for Aethys, we can put on a proper play. Stick around for the performance. I think you'll be plenty pleased. Ladies and gentle pirates, and rapscallions too, you are in for the truest of mental treats. Without further ado, I present the Green Menace. Let us begin with our valiant new blood crews. The Lusty Rudder and Fortune's Folly. 2 ships adrift at sea for weeks and weeks on a venture most daring, in search of the uncharted islands.
Woe and torture, months at sea with no treasure to show for it. You sure these uncharted islands exist, Captain? We ain't seen land for days.
Were they easy to find, they'd be called the Chartered Islands, wouldn't they? If you're thinking to mutiny.
Land ho! Land ho! Got a lumpy-looking island coming on the horizon.
That's no island. That be the Green Menace. We are doomed for sure.
Souls and gold and glory, you will give these to me. For I am a god among gods, and a true menace upon the seas. Souls and gold and glory. Blame the dawn stars, for they have summoned me. And now, I must feed.
'Twill be the end for us, it will. Oh, Andra, take me now.
And that's the story of how Aethys sank a fleet of our best tars. Like the floating hangman, you see the Green Menace coming, you sail the other way. Thank you. Donations and gratuity are greatly appreciated.
Our
They
temple
love
plays
us,
aren't
do you
half
think?
so entertaining.
They goddamned loved us thanks to you.